Hey, Hallmark fans. What you're going to hear next is an episode from our other podcast. Yes, we do talk about things other than Hallmark. Last to the Party. This season on Last to the Party, we are discussing every episode of the new Bravo series In the City. If you're a fan of Summer House, you need to be watching this show. So enjoy this episode and head on over to Last to the Party to subscribe for more. Welcome to Last to the Party. Last to the Party used to be a rewatch podcast. I was new to Bravo. Wendy knew everything. And we were catching up on what everyone else had already seen.
That's still in our DNA, but we've evolved. We're not rewatching anymore. We're watching in real time, and we're both figuring it out as we go.
Wendy still has the context. I still have the fresh eyes. But In the City is brand new to both of us, so that changes things a little bit.
This is a reaction and commentary podcast now. We watch, we talk, we have opinions. That's the show.
That's right. So we are doing it. We're talking In the City. Quick little orientation for anybody who's new here. Last summer, we did a full rewatch of Summer House Season 1. That was a good time.
Yeah.
I had never seen it before. Obviously, you had. You can go back and give that a listen. I think it's a very interesting concept given where we are in this universe of people, especially Lindsay, Kyle, and Amanda. Mm-hmm. All three of them, I think there's references to who they were in that beginning scene. But we're here. We did do a first impression preview episode based on the trailer that dropped of In the City. We'll discuss some of that. And now we're here. Episode 1 dropped. We've seen it. I got some thoughts. Before we jump into that, some quick housekeeping. You can follow us on Instagram, where we are Last to the Party Pod. You can email us your hot takes, your theories, your thoughts on the cast, lasttothepartypod@gmail.com. Are you ready?
I'm way ready.
Let's talk our preview episode predictions versus the reality of this show. Mm-hmm. You said it gave you Valley Season 1 vibes.
Absolutely.
Like I don't want to watch 40-year-olds navigate life as adults.
I think there's a lot of similarities to the Valley, but I think it's better.
Yes.
I think the players in this show know what they're doing.
They know how to make good TV.
They know how to make good TV. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where the Valley has struggled. So that's my initial thought. I want to say now, after seeing this first episode, that I think the preview undersold this cast.
Oh.
Because I was like, I'm not really interested in anybody outside of Lindsay, Kyle, and Amanda. Uh-huh. And I take that all back.
So that's interesting because in the preview, we were like, these other cast members are taking up space and perhaps there's too many of them.
Yes.
Are you rolling that back a little bit?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Not everybody. I still have a lot of thoughts and I'm going to get to them eventually in this episode, but all of these people feel very interconnected. There feels like there's history there, but there's also new players. And I think a majority, not everyone, a majority are going to make good TV.
Yeah, I think we are in for a good season here. Let's talk structure a little bit because this episode does something a little bit different based on recent events. The show opens at the end. Kyle and Amanda are saying goodbye at Summer House, and we roll right into flash forwarding to their breakup announcement, watch what happened live clips about like what's going on with Amanda and West, and then ultimately the Amanda and West confirmation. And then we fast forward to Kyle and Amanda post confirmation of the Amanda and West relationship.
Right.
Basically Kyle checking in on Amanda.
Yes.
And he's like, I care about you. I'm struggling with Amanda.
I think we'll talk about it.
Yeah. But she's kind of like, I wanted it to work so badly with you, which I don't believe. In the preview episode, we had said like, they're going to save the divorce drama for In the City.
Yeah.
That feels accurate.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a lot of thoughts here. I think that Bravo could not pretend that the fans didn't already know what happened between Amanda and West.
Yeah.
And that stuff. So the headlines were way too loud. They had to insert all of that stuff. They couldn't just let the season roll out as previously planned because Amanda and Wes blew all that up.
Yeah, so
right?
they had to pick up cameras and film this one-off scene.
They had to. You know, I think it absolutely saved the premiere of it. I don't know. There's no way that I would have watched the show otherwise if they just kept it as previously planned. But I would have been like, oh, looking for like all the little things to rip it all apart. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm glad they acknowledged like, hey, we're going to rewind here, but we know you know what you know. Let's get it out there and then let's watch it all play out.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. Now, do I think, we had talked about it in the preview episode, do I think Amanda and Kyle purposely saved their breakup for In the City? Maybe. I think I'm leaning towards like, yes. In my opinion, I could see, and I don't have any facts on this, but I could see being a couple that you've been together for 10 years, you have built this franchise, you could have a conversation off camera and say, look, I know we are headed for separation, but we have this commitment that we have to do this show. This is our primary paycheck. Let's go into the summer. Let's do it. And then we will revisit separation for In the City. Sadly, I think it was obvious watching Summer House this last season that Amanda was done.
Well, that's my question because Amanda says, I gave everything I had, but things got messy because I was so afraid of losing you as a friend.
I don't buy it.
That was not the Amanda I saw.
I don't buy it.
And I don't blame her for being done in a relationship that wasn't working for you. There is some question here. Kyle's like, can you be fully honest with yourself and tell me like nothing was happening with West before we had officially announced our split?
So let's move into that scene.
Yes.
When Amanda comes to visit Kyle at the apartment.
Yes.
Like you mentioned earlier, they start out in the kitchen. Kyle does seem concerned. He's like, you look thin. And then they go to sit down on the couch. They have a very amicable dynamic, it seems here. I don't blame him for being like, yo, give me the timeline here. Like, be honest with me.
Yeah. People are talking, man.
Be honest with me. I think you owe it to your spouse. Hear me out. I have two opinions about this. From Kyle's perspective, I would be like, yeah, be honest with me. Tell me what the timeline is, because I just need to know what I was working with. I was under the impression that we were going to work on getting back together, coming into the city, being in therapy, et cetera, et cetera. But now I have to wonder all this stuff with West, even if you were having like an emotional affair, like tell me if that. Now, Amanda's very defensive.
Very.
In this moment. And she and shouts at him about the allegations that he cheated during their marriage. Could I see that Kyle might be trying to save face here a little bit, like make himself feel less guilty if Kyle did have like a outside marriage things?
Yes.
Would it make him feel like they're on level playing field if she said, yeah, I was emotionally into West during this time?
Because Kyle has been painted as the villain in their relationship for a long time. Right. Honestly, up until the West and Amanda accusations came out, people were so team Amanda. And I thought it was really interesting because as soon as he's like, you know, were you having an emotional affair? And she's like, don't accuse me of being unfaithful, and then turns it right around. She's like, there was a video of you making out. And Kyle goes, okay. What did you make of that reaction of his? Like, did he seem guilty or did he just seem like, are we doing this again?
A little bit of both, maybe.
Yeah.
That's why I think he was asking the questions so much. I really think he wanted a level playing field.
Well, and I do like that he says, you're not a bad person, but your behavior was reckless and thoughtless. I'm glad he said that because I do think that's accurate.
Do you think he's referring to that her actions are reckless and thoughtless to Kyle or to her best friend, Sierra?
I think both, but I think assuming she was not unfaithful and all of this happened after their marriage ended, or at least they were separated, I think the bigger crime is what she did to Sierra.
Yeah, I agree. As a girl's girl.
Yeah, but if things were starting while she and Kyle were still in an unsure state of mind, then I think they could go either way.
Yeah. I got to tell you, though, those scenes don't feel performative to me. They both truly look very upset, emotionally upset. Yeah, Kyle crying, Amanda crying.
What did you think of I'm sad someone else gets the version of you that I fell in love with?
Woof.
Kyle still seems to genuinely care about Amanda.
I mean, he says he does in this scene. He's like, I'm not trying to like say these things to rekindle things with you. I genuinely care about you as a person. And for me, it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around that. As someone who's been married 25 years this summer, if my spouse and I separated, yes, I do love and care for this person still, but there's got to be a little bit of resentment and animosity.
I think so too.
To move that needle to a separation.
Yes.
So it's interesting to me that Kyle is so generous with his caring.
I think so too.
Her.
I think that's true. I think that's true.
So then part of me starts to question like, oh, is this performative? Is Kyle really pissed under the skin here? But he's like, I'm going to look like the good guy. I'm going to come out the,
interesting.
Quote, winner in the situation.
I think two things can be true, though. I think he can be hurt and also still show up for Amanda. I have always gotten the impression that whether or not Kyle's behavior suggests it, Kyle has always seemed very into Amanda. Now, if you throw back to Summer House season 1, he didn't act like it. He wasn't a good boyfriend. And he's had plenty of times where he hasn't been a good partner. But I think he has always really cared about Amanda. There's something that draws these two together.
I agree.
I felt for Kyle when he cried.
I did too. And I want to be clear to the listeners here and to you. Like, yes, while as we record this on May 21st, I am Team Kyle in this scenario here. But Kyle is not without fault.
No.
We've seen him be an absolute asshole. Even this season. So.
And I think that has empowered Amanda the way that the internet kind of rose up behind Kyle and his behavior before she was taken down. I think she was very empowered by people saying, thank God she finally left him. Live your best life, Amanda. I think she lives like the person who's like, the people love me.
Do you think she thought the fan reaction would have been more positive?
About her and Wes?
Yeah.
I'm shocked that she didn't think through. I think if it was anyone outside of the Summer House universe, people would have been shipping them.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Live your best life. Get some, Amanda. Like, whatever it takes. But people ride hard for Sierra.
Yes.
And I just think she overestimated her popularity.
Yeah, I agree.
Now we rewind to September 2025, and I think this was designed to be the genuine introduction of this episode because this show is Lindsay Hubbard's vehicle.
I agree with you. I have that exact. Did you copy my notes? This is Lindsay's vehicle.
And so we start in Lindsay's enormous, beautiful apartment. In the city, must be paying the big bucks.
I mean, she got all that Summer House money.
I mean, that apartment's beautiful. And interestingly enough, we do get some on-camera Gemma. Now, Gemma's not on camera in Summer House.
Listen, Gemma is a Bravo legend already.
Yes.
In my eyes. When they actually show baby Gemma, I went, oh my God. Now, I went on to watch What Happens Live after this episode, and Lindsay was on it, and she and Andy talk about Gemma's appearance on the show. She said her and Gemma's dad have an agreement that Gemma will not appear on social media. But the show is about her being a mom, and they had an agreement that Gemma can be on the show.
Got it.
So while she's not on Summer House, I don't know, maybe this agreement came into terms like post-filming Summer House.
I think that's a fair compromise for her to say, Summer House is not my show. I am one of an ensemble. And Summer House is not about my life as a mom. So it's perfectly reasonable for Gemma to not be in that show.
Yeah. She's like, how am I going to make a show about me being a mom and in this new stage of life without showing my kid?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, Lindsay lays it out on the line. She's like, I haven't had sex in 9 months. I used to shoot rainbows and butterflies out my vagina. And the editors respond with a GIF.
Top tier editing in this episode.
And it's like a highlight reel of various Lindsay getting it on scenes with her various dudes over the years. I mean, thank God we have 10 years of Summer House content to pull from.
Right.
we meet Liz the nanny and Gemma's face.
Oh my God. She was so excited.
Oh my, she loves her.
I loved it. I'm telling you, Gemma is great. When Lindsay's like, this is my child, she makes the same, like
the split screen,
the mean mugs.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they would show Gemma, this is what I'm talking about, top tier editing. And then they would show Gemma like
side-eyeing her
at different spots in the episode. Yes. I freaking loved it. It was so funny.
Yeah. She's an icon.
I loved it.
What's your read on Lindsay as a mom?
I think she's very involved.
Me too.
I think she's very hands-on. Even though Gemma was so excited to see the nanny, I think Lindsay's very hands-on.
Yeah, I don't think Gemma being excited to see the nanny is a knock on Lindsay at all. Having more people in your life who love you is a blessing.
Not at all. Lindsay Hubbard was made to be a mother. She has talked for 10 years. That's all she wanted was a baby. So
yeah, she wants to right the wrongs of her past.
I love it. I love it I love her as a mom.
Can I say something that might be kind of controversial?
Okay.
I think it works for Lindsay's life that she's co-parenting with someone she's not in a relationship with. Because she has this life, especially on camera, and it allows her to be like, yeah, I'm going to go to the bar. Now, that's not to say she couldn't get a babysitter, but it does seem to kind of work for her life. And it allowed for her to go to summer house for the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Gemma's with her dad. We meet a couple more people in this opening package. We meet Lindsay's two, she calls them best friends. Everyone's a best friend.
Yeah, totally.
Yvonne and Georgina. Yvonne, Lindsay's longtime friend. And they're both really intent on telling this story about how after Lindsay's breakup with Gemma's dad, she went to her and Yvonne helped her manually express breast milk.
Yeah.
Like they both have to tell the story.
These are
ride or die friendships.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I thought, would I do that for Megan? I think you and I are way past
Way past those days.
Child birthing stage. But, you know.
You can fan me in the middle of a hot flash.
Yeah, exactly. What are your first impressions of Yvonne and Georgina? We didn't really talk about Georgina yet, but Georgina, like you said, she's a mom friend. Successful, but hanging on by a thread is what I wrote down.
Georgina is my favorite of the new characters.
Me too.
Oh.
Me too.
She's a dermatologist. She's got this kick-ass business, but she admits, like, she's kind of a hot mess. She talks about, like, one of her kids eating dog food. She's like, there's protein in it.
Right.
But she's also drop-dead gorgeous. Also, she's single. Her baby daddy left while she was pregnant with the second baby. Like, she's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
And she's interesting to me. She's my new favorite.
She's my new favorite. Now, what about Yvonne?
I'm on the fence about Yvonne.
I like Yvonne. This is what I'm worried about, though. This is all season long, we're going to watch the I want kids / he's hesitant storyline. This is classic Bravo storytelling. We've seen it on Housewives. We've seen it on The Valley.
Yeah, I'm okay with Yvonne as a person, but like, I don't think I'm going to love her storyline. And, you know, a little bit later, she tells this story about like, I left and he didn't even notice. And I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's
what
wild.
are we doing? And also, we got married and I just assumed we had kids. You were adults when you got that. You never had that conversation.
Yeah, I don't love that.
So I just thought, well, I'm not rooting for this relationship at this very moment. I got to tell you.
Okay.
Amanda and Lindsay go grocery shopping. This is where we learn Amanda came home from summer house and checked into a hotel. She and Kyle are in couples counseling. They hate each other. Like, counselor's like, you guys hate each other. And then in a complete non sequitur, Amanda goes, I want some fruit. And Amanda, this is just another one of those, like, yeah, you're retelling the story of your failing marriage, but UDGAF.
Yeah.
Amanda says that Kyle told her she should move out. Then they cut to like a scene of Amanda and Kyle fighting in the park. And he's like, I can't be around you like this.
Right.
Which is interesting.
The greatest takeaway from this scene to me, obviously, one, I feels like it's very producer guided to me. Like I don't
catch us up on what's going on with you and Kyle.
Yes. But what I was really impressed with is that Lindsay says to Amanda, it might be too late for you guys.
You haven't been partners for a long time.
Yes. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, because later on we have a scene between Kyle and Lindsay. And she says the same thing to him, basically. And I thought, oh, that's kind of a good friend who's telling both these people separately the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, she's not playing one side or the other. Now, she's known Kyle a lot longer. And considering in current day, we know Lindsay is Team Kyle. I thought she was being a really good friend to Amanda in this scene. Like,
I think so
being
too.
very honest, saying some things that I don't know if I would even say to you. You know, you and I have been friends for a long time, but I don't know if I would be like, especially about a relationship, like, oh, I don't think it's going well for you. But it's not my place, though. Even though we have we're such good friends, I just don't know if I could bring myself to say something so honest that might be hurtful. Anyway.
Well, we're going to meet some new faces now, some new couples.
Yeah.
So we start with Andrea and Lexi.
These are new faces to you.
Yes, these are new faces to me. And they haven't been in the current Summer House circles.
No.
Although they did come in at that last party in Summer House. They're like, oh, my husband's like, who are these people? I'm like, oh, they're on In the City, so we gotta meet them.
Sprinkle them in.
We just kind of learned the basics. Andrea and Lexi got married at a castle in Italy in 2024. They're still very much in the...
Can I give you some backstory?
Yeah.
Did you know that Andrea and Paige were a thing?
They showed a brief flash of it in this. Yeah.
This was pre-Craig, and it was at the time, it was kind of a little bit of a triangle. She was torn between Andrea and Craig.
Got it. How did Paige meet Craig?
Winter House.
Got it.
These are shows you need to watch.
Yes.
And then eventually Andrea was like, I'm in love with Lexi. We used to date. She's the love of my life. I'm going to get back with her. And they do. And they get married. Now, I think I might have said on the preview that I was concerned about Lexi being on the show. And I stand firm in that opinion. Lexi is beautiful and sweet and seems lovely, but reality TV requires chaos, delusion. I don't think she's made for reality TV.
Yeah, Fairy Tale Wedding is not all that interesting. I wanted to get married at Disneyland Castle, and I got married at a real castle. That's a lovely story, but yeah, is it driving the narrative?
No. The reason Lindsay Hubbard is so successful on reality TV is because
she's so chaotic.
She moves the needle. She knows how to forward the story. I don't see Lexi doing that.
Yeah, you don't see a tagline coming out of Lexi this season?
No.
It's going to go on a sweatshirt.
She could surprise me, but I don't see it.
We also meet up with Danielle and Owen.
Now, can I ask you, have you reached a Summer House season where Danielle is on it yet?
Well, Danielle was on last season of Summer House.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but you don't know the whole, I
don't know the whole trajectory of Danielle. After last season, I was not Danielle's biggest fan, mostly because Danielle came for Sierra, and I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
Let's talk Danielle and Owen. We just get the basics of their relationship. They have a 9-year history. I'm putting this in quotation marks somewhere in there. Owen got married.
Yeah. I think she kind of left that out, right?
Yeah, they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we went our separate ways and then we reconnected 6 months ago. We've been dating. We've been living together for a month. And I'm like, this is a really quick timeline because she's like, I want to get married. I want to have babies. I need a ring. I was like, you guys, it feels quick to me. But then again, I was engaged in 6 months and married 6 months later. So what do I know? For context, in present day, Danielle has announced a pregnancy.
Yes.
She is actively pregnant
with this man.
Owen.
Yeah.
Yes.
This man's child. Yes.
So that story does have somewhere to go. We do learn a little bit later, Owen's still married. Separated, in the process. It's not like he's having an active affair.
On TV.
Yes.
Could you imagine? Oh my God.
We also learned that Lindsay doesn't even know about Owen. And Danielle's take is that Lindsay has ghosted her. More to come.
Okay, I have a couple thoughts. First of all, I enjoy Danielle on reality TV. I'm glad she's on this show. She's very much cut from the same fabric. She knows how to move the story along. She's chaotic. I enjoy that. Again, a nod to top tier editing. Putting founder/influencer under Danielle's name is a deep cut Summer House reference.
Yeah,
I'm a founder. I thought that was so freaking funny. I love how we will eventually talk about Danielle and Lindsay and sort of the same sort of unfolding of relationships and getting pregnant. They are very similar.
Yeah, good point.
So interested to talk about that. But also I thought Owen's discomfort whenever Danielle was like, I'm on a timeline. I'm on the Lindsay Hubbard timeline.
Yeah.
He looked uncomfortable.
He did. Could have been editing, but he did look uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially because he's like, I'm still married. Can't get pregnant while I'm still married.
He's not quite saying that out loud, is he?
I know. Nobody's saying that out loud. Let's meet Kenny. This is also the first time we've seen Kyle in this official episode. Kyle and Kenny are having lunch because Kenny is an investor. And Kenny drops the bomb. I haven't seen a financial update in a year. And Kyle's like, yeah, things aren't great.
First of all, I actually find the back end stuff of Loverboy business talk very interesting.
Well, he lays it all out. He's like, I'm on the brink of financial disaster. I've laid off employees. I've put in my own money. I either need a partner or I need to sell it.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah. I kind of loved it, actually. And you know who else I kind of loved? Kenny.
Oh, I love Kenny.
I did not think from the preview, I was like, I don't like Kenny.
Kenny the dude, not Kenny the partner. I don't like Kenny the romantic partner. I got issues.
Okay.
I got issues.
We will talk about that.
But I like Kenny here. He seems like a real straightforward businessman. Mm-hmm. Kind of seems like a good friend to Kyle. I think he's very interesting. Do think he's an F-boy. But I like Kenny. I found him very interesting here.
Yeah, I thought his conversations with Kyle were super mature in terms of the Loverboy conversation. And then I thought it was a nice, natural segue to the conversation about Amanda. And he was honest like Lindsay, like, yeah, like optics show that like things are not great.
I thought he threw a little shade though. He's like, she's kind of like not fun.
She's not on your energy.
And he's like, I got Whitney. She's a good time all the time. And I was like, first of all.
Yeah, don't make comparisons. That doesn't help.
You guys are new. There's a difference in the energy in a brand new relationship and a 10-year relationship.
Absolutely.
But also, I do have a little bit of an issue with Kenny putting his relationship up as like the model relationship. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think that it is, and we'll get into it, but Whitney's from the Midwest. She was on The Bachelor. She has moved out here to be with him. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But, I'm intrigued by Kenny. I would say maybe he's my second favorite of the new folk. Kenny says, I think in a confessional, my biggest fear is hurting her or it not working out. And I got to tell you, the red flags on that play, my biggest fear is hurting her is the classic, like, anti-commitment dude comment. Like, I just don't want to hurt you. Let me tell you. Did I hear that in college? I absolutely did. I don't want to hurt you. That sounds like smooth. It's not.
Like, I don't want to hurt you, therefore we can't be together.
No, I don't want to hurt you. Putting it out there like, I'm not really a commitment kind of guy.
Got it.
Let's make out. I put it out there that I don't want to hurt you. Can't come back and get mad at me when that happens.
Gotcha.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's my vibe that I get there.
Gotcha.
We got our first group hang at the Garrett.
Is this funny that like you have to access it through the Five Guys?
I love it. Speakeasy.
You and I have been to New York. Seeing all these shots of New York, I was like, I'm dying to go. I want to go. I want to go hang out in a bar and like have these New York-y fall vibes so badly.
Here's one of the things I like about this show is that every time they do a new scene, they tell us what they're like. Chelsea.
What
Central Park
borough they're in, or maybe, it's cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. A lot going on here. Kyle and Amanda on their way to the party. I guess we're supposed to assume they've just left therapy. They're not doing good. And he's like being critical. And she's like, I'm sweating. He's like, well, you're wearing a raincoat. She's like, it's not a raincoat. And I just thought, that's not the hill to die on here, Amanda. And then, of course, the edit cuts to like, she's in jeans and in the summer in New York.
Yeah, in September.
Humid. Anyway, loved it. And Amanda's like, I don't know what you want. And then she's like, I'm going to go home. I can't pretend to be happy in front of our friends, which just furthers the narrative that like Amanda never goes hangs out with Kyle. Mm-hmm. Amanda's not fun.
Yeah.
The city should be fun.
Can you imagine being the husband who always shows up to the event and being like, oh yeah, she's not here. Or trying to always have to make an excuse for your spouse.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Two big things I want to talk about. Tell me which one you want to talk about first.
Okay.
Kenny and Whitney. Mm-hmm. Or Lindsay and Danielle.
Let's talk Kenny and Whitney.
Okay. I really liked the vibe of this friend group. Like when Kenny and Lindsay and I liked their vibe. I liked their banter. I thought it was fun. But Lindsay's like, excuse me, she moved across the country to be with you without a ring?
Okay, I have two immediate thoughts. First of all, the preview made this scene look like it was confrontational. And I thought it played out as
playful.
They were playful. They were poking at him.
He's like, it's giving I hate men vibes. She's like, well, I don't trust men.
Right.
Like, But here's what irked me, because they're talking about the trajectory of their relationship. And he was like, we've been dating for a year. But then he like kind of turns around. She's like, so you've been together for a year? And he kind of like turns around to look where she is.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And then he's like, well, like I had some other stuff going on. Like my mom was dying.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
His friend gives him a hard time here.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, the F-boy stage is one of the stages of grief. Love it. And then he's like, so we've been officially together for 6 months. It seems like maybe she doesn't know what he was like. He turns around to check her location.
Know that. She doesn't know that he was
messing around,
having fun still with other women.
I just thought it was interesting.
Look, I don't think it's so far-fetched that a woman in her 30s would move to New York for a guy.
I don't.
These people are old enough to go, okay, if this isn't going to work out, then I can pivot. It's not a 22-year-old dropping their entire life to move to somewhere for somebody.
I agree with you. I don't think it's that crazy. And I think there's some value in like, it's fine if they're not engaged. They've never lived in the same place together. Like you should live in the same city to see if you are compatible. I don't fully know how all in I am on Kenny's commitment to this relationship. I'm bringing some 20-year-old Megan baggage to the table.
Okay. All right. Okay. Lindsay and Danielle.
Danielle shows up and Lindsay like runs from her. Basically.
Yeah, she does
She's
not
like,
want to.
They're on two different wavelengths. Danielle's like, Lindsay ghosted me. And Lindsay's like, I hate Danielle.
Yeah.
Lindsay pulls up for the producers. It's giving, here's an itemized list of 30 years of grievances. Sweet Jesus.
Timelines, receipts, whatever it is from, Salt Lake City.
And then they showed the screenshot of it.
It was fantastic. Lindsay knows how to make good TV.
Oh my God. I loved it.
Period.
She gave Carl a hand job in the back of an Uber. And my favorite is when she's relaying this to Kyle. Kyle's like, hand jobs aren't that great. She's like, oh, come on. She's like, he's like, I pay good money for a hand job. But the thing I didn't like is like, he's like, I was like, ew, the lecherous laugh like gave me the creeps. I did think it was funny though. I did think it was funny.
The Lindsay Danielle situation is interesting because if I was Lindsay, I'd be like, Danielle's trying to take a page out of my playbook here with the whole timeline of it all and wanting to get pregnant and having a baby and all this stuff and moving at rapid speed because Danielle was so critical of Lindsay and Carl moving at rapid speed. So,
and then critical of Lindsay being like, you're not living with the father of your baby.
Exactly. So if I'm Lindsay, I see where she's coming from. I'd be like, I'm tired of you. What I miss, though, is Lindsay and Danielle, that duo, the ones that had so much fun on Summer House. So do I hope that they can get to that place again? Yeah, I kind of do.
Danielle, thinking about it now, like, is there a part of you that thinks like Danielle maybe wants to ingratiate herself with Lindsay because she knows this is Lindsay's show, and if she and Lindsay aren't in good, Danielle's not going to, whether or not she's on the cast, she's not going to be in it. Like she needs scenes with Lindsay in order to make the show.
I think so. Arroz con pollo. I know you don't know what that means.
I don't. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know the relevance.
The listeners know what it means.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up.
It just means that like they were so close. Like they had their nicknames were arroz con pollo, and they wore necklaces that said it. Like
that's adorable. Quite nice accent you did right there.
Thank you.
It was very awkward when Danielle's like, "Hey, can we get coffee or a lunch?" And Lindsay was like,
"Can I think about it?"
Awkward. It was as awkward as Carl's mom talking to Lindsay at the soft bar launch.
Oh my God, so awkward. But maybe Lindsay should try some boundaries here, right?
Yeah, and like Carl's mom was not nice to Lindsay, so Lindsay doesn't really owe her warmth.
No, but that made me so uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable.
And the scene also made me uncomfortable.
Me too. Hey, let's take a quick break and come right back and talk more in the city shenanigans. We have a girls' night out.
Yeah.
But this is the scene that made me fall in love with Georgina.
Tell me more.
Yvonne and Lindsay show up at Georgina's office and they're like, we're going out. Do you have anything to change into? Like, it's obviously staged. She's like, look at my closet, which, of course, in her office, she's got stuff to go out. And she pulls out the cutest floaty black dress I've ever seen. A look. When she comes out, I was like, oh, damn. It's not like she's got like jeans and a going out top up there. Like she's ready to go. The woman is stunning.
Yeah, I agree.
Amanda meets up with them. This is when we learn some things.
Let me stop you there. Before Amanda even gets to the bar, Lindsay's spilling the tea to Yvonne and Georgina here that she has learned that Kyle has demanded back pay rent from Amanda for 3 years.
To the tune of $117,000.
How do you know that dollar
on
amount?
The screen.
Wowza.
And she's like, I paid it. And I was like, first of all, why were you not paying rent?
Yeah.
What? They drop tidbits like this. And I'm like, what is the financial situation here? Like, if you had all that money, why didn't you invest in Soft Bar for Carl? Like, if you had $117,000, you could have given him $10K.
Totally.
Why weren't you paying rent when Kyle is clearly struggling?
When he's not taking an income from Loverboy.
And he had to DJ to make ends meet?
Yeah.
You know, I think it's not, obviously, it's not black and white with these two.
Uh-huh.
You know, okay, maybe Kyle had to take a second job to make ends meet. He probably doesn't have to go out until 5 o'clock in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Loved Lindsay spilling the tea. But then Amanda shows up. First of all, she's got bangs.
Yeah.
They're like, you got bangs.
I thought about you, actually. She was like, these damn bangs. Totally thought about you.
And then she's like, I do not want to talk about myself. Let's talk shit about some other people.
Yeah.
And she goes in on Danielle.
Yes.
She's like, he's married. And then Lindsay freaks out. She loves it. Loves it.
I can't believe that Lindsay is she's either unaware of this information or this is like the greatest acting reaction I've ever seen. She was like, you have to stop. I can't believe
She's got some great facial reactions. There's one, I think it's in the next episode. It's always like the screenshot for this. Yes.
It's like mouth wide open.
I love it.
Like,
It's
greatest
the cutest thing.
Yeah.
This is also when we learn like Nick's not ready to be a dad. Yvonne flew to San Diego for a few days. He did not notice she was gone. Of course, they edit in Nick in the house being like, where's mommy? Obviously,
Hello? Is anybody?
That's obviously not when that happened. But I was like, would you freak the F out if your husband didn't realize you were gone for days?
Yeah. It would make me reevaluate our entire marriage.
You're also telling me you guys don't have each other on Find My...
We absolutely do.
I'm just saying, like, Yvonne doesn't. Come on. Come on. Okay. Kyle and Amanda's anniversary dinner.
So physically uncomfortable watching this scene.
I was like, Kyle's like, of course we're going to celebrate. And I'm like, really?
I mean, there have been years where I'm like not happy with my husband, but we still go through the motions of like
we
celebrating.
Really, I just thought...
You thought it was weird.
I did think it was a little weird, especially they're like so in the thick of it. They're like, happy anniversary. And I was like, what is this sham? And then Amanda's like, I'm moving out.
Dude, for her to drop that bomb at dinner, I honestly felt so bad for Kyle because it seemed to me like he's like, we're in a good place. Like,
yes.
And she's like, yeah, I'm going to move out. And first of all, I can't help but think, baby, you wouldn't have gotten there if Sierra didn't say to you 1 month earlier, maybe you guys should take some space, right? I don't think she would have done it on her own. Sierra pushed her.
Yeah.
But there is also a place and time for these things. This either don't go to the dinner, but don't do it like this.
It was in poor taste.
Agree.
And
I thought Kyle took it like a champ.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And everything that comes out of her mouth is just bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. I want to date. I'm doing it for the relationship, not to end it. Like, she doesn't like, they go to therapy, they come home. Kyle's able to transition into real life mode. He's got to get work done. They got to take care of the dogs. She can't. She's still stuck in all the resentment from therapy.
Yeah.
She can't separate that. She doesn't know how to do that. And I get that. I understand the reason for a separation. I don't think she's wrong to want that. I think they need it to figure out, do I even miss this guy?
Yeah.
But the timing sucked. And Kyle says, I've never heard of anybody separating to help the relationship. I think there are times when a separation can be for the good of the relationship. Take some space, think about your life, what you need, what you want. But I don't buy what Amanda's selling. I want our relationship to work. I want us to figure out who we are. I don't buy it. I think Amanda wants out, and this is phase one.
I need to know. I need a freaking timeline. Their anniversary is September 25th.
Okay, so this is okay.
Summer House ends like Labor Day weekend. So we're talking like 3 weeks after they've been home.
Yeah, it seems like that. It seems like that.
Now, here's the timeline, what I needed to know, like when things started like really happening with West.
Right? Because Kyle, in their kitchen scene, he mentioned something about Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He's like, were you having an emotion like around Thanksgiving? And she, of course, gets defensive and she pushes him off.
Yeah, if they were taking space after September 25th, that's a real fast timeline that she had, because he's wondering if Thanksgiving was when something happened with her and West, right? That's a real fast.
Well, unless you believe the narrative that people are looking at all the clues on Summer House that something was happening.
I do believe that narrative.
Interesting.
You don't?
I'm 100% on the fence. I could believe it. To add insult to injury, these dudes next to them are like, happy anniversary, bro. And he's like, yeah, it's been smooth sailing. And then poor Kyle, he's like, don't worry. We're going to dinner. This is just appetizers. Like, I want to do it right. Did you notice that?
I did. I thought it was not. They ordered escargot and like caviar.
It's fine.
And they had nice fancy cocktails. Like that would have been enough for me to be quite. I mean, honestly, if my husband ordered dinner at the house, it would have been enough for me. But
seriously.
Like,
yeah, that was plenty.
Yes, plenty.
I wasn't like, oh, he's phoning it in because they're just having drinks.
No, I'm like, why? And why does he have to explain it to these rando guys who are like, what's this camera doing here? I know they didn't say that, but I'm sure that was what was happening.
Yeah, and they're like, I can tell it's been smooth. And I was like, okay, that was weird.
Yeah, I thought this whole scene was brutal, but also incredible television.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to understand Kyle, and I feel like I'm giving him a lot of credit here because I feel that past Kyle would have spun out, freaked out at this, and he just took it like, I'm trying to be a good partner and be supportive, and I'm a little bit, do I 100% believe his reactions here?
That's a good question.
Or do you think he's just really trying to hold on to her? So he's like really reining it in.
So he doesn't even get emotional. And what kind of pissed me off is he's trying to understand the boundaries. Because he was like, if we do this, and she's like, not if. I'm like, let him finish. He's not saying if I give you permission. He's saying, what does this look like for us? And she never gives him a chance to ask that question. I'm like, it's fine, Amanda. You do have the right to do this. You don't need his permission. But let him finish the question, which is, what does that look like? Are we calling each other every night to say goodnight? Are we planning a weekly date? What does that look like? Right. Are we dating other people? I feel like he was trying to understand the parameters as she understood them. I found it suspicious that he didn't have any reaction, particularly given we saw that scene in April where he's emotional.
Yeah.
So
do you think is
it staged?
Yeah.
Is he able to be that cool about it and be like, it's all smooth sailing? My wife just told me she's moving out.
Yeah. I wonder if they filmed this, and what do they call a pickup scene? I wonder if this is a pickup scene that they did and then they put it in there.
Oh.
And so therefore he's kind of disconnected. Like appears to be like totally cool with the situation, but it was filmed at a later time. This is not actually their anniversary here.
That's a good question. I wasn't reading it as it's a pickup scene. I was reading it more that it's just staged, that they're telling the story of their breakup and they need to get it on camera.
That too.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Given that we know that we are going to see the dissolution of Kyle and Amanda's relationship, and given what we know about reality shows where people no longer like each other, like The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and how they become unwatchable. If this show gets a season 2, it seems obvious that if one of them doesn't come back, the person who doesn't come back is Amanda.
I think so.
I don't think Amanda's coming back on Summer House. I think Amanda and West are done.
I think so too.
Because I don't see a world in which Sierra says, I'm going back to Summer House with Amanda and West there. And they're never going to let go of Sierra.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to let go of Kyle either. Kyle is Summer House.
I think so too. Honestly,
it's fine, right?
It is fine. Like, I think West is funny. I'm not Team West at all. I think he's funny. I think he brings some like humor to Summer House, especially him and Jesse.
Sure.
But I'm okay with those two being gone.
Me too.
Jesse, Kyle, and Sierra, Bailey, Carl, occasionally Lindsay.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you think Carl and Sierra should be on this show?
Yes.
I think so too. And I had some thoughts because I'm watching The Valley. Do you watch The Valley? Okay. So
up until last season.
We're in season 3 of The Valley. This season, they have brought in Tom Schwartz and Lala from Vanderpump.
Got it.
They are regulars on the show now. It makes me believe that, there is a future for In the City where Carl and or Sierra is brought into the show. Mm-hmm. If Bravo's smart, they're going to bring Sierra in. They're going to pay her top dollar and bring her in the show because the fans are so ride or die for her right now. Mm-hmm. Don't you think so? Mm-hmm. And she should do it. Mm-hmm. They are missing. I kind of would like to see like a soft bar situation. Mm-hmm. Like I want to see some more about soft bar too, but I know a lot of people don't like Carl. I love Carl. So
who doesn't like Carl?
I have a couple other little moments or things to bring up. Mm-hmm. We kind of talked about it before, but I just thought the episode structure and the pacing was really good considering they probably had to restructure the entire episode.
It's a nice overview of this cast.
Yeah. I thought they did a really good job in like 45 minutes or whatever. Mm-hmm. I also feel that Lindsay has fully evolved. In fact, at one point, I was looking to see if her name is a producer on the show because I feel like she is operating in this sort of producer role.
Is she credited?
I don't think so. Mm-hmm. The woman understands story architecture. Mm-hmm. And I think this is her show. Mm-hmm. And I fully believe this would have 100% have been her show with her friends if the whole West, Amanda, Sierra, Kyle thing didn't implode.
You don't think Kyle and Amanda would have been on it?
I do think they would have been on it, but Lindsay would have been
on par with
story.
Georgina and Yvonne and all these other couples. It would have been like Lindsay at the peak of the pyramid.
Yes, exactly.
They're not credited as producers on IMDb.
They should be. Finally, we talked about the comparisons to The Valley. I do, and my comments in our preview episode, I was like, I don't want to watch these people in their late 30s, try to adult. I think we're beyond adulting for the most part. For example, the Yvonne Nick storyline of should we have kids or shouldn't we have kids? I'm not interested in, mostly because I'm past that stage in my life. What I am interested in is...
I'm interested in the relationships. I'm not interested in the romantic relationships.
Same.
I'm interested in the relationships these people all have with each other as friends.
And it's the same way for Summer House too, right? Like, yes, at Summer House, they like party. And here they're like functioning like adults.
Mm-hmm. And nobody, Lindsay, yes, but I feel like that's most evident in Kyle's behavior. Because my number one complaint about Kyle on Summer House
is
that he's always drunk.
Oh,
and he was not giving drunk buffoon Kyle at any point in this episode.
When him and Kenny went out to dinner and I think they had a cocktail or whatever. Oh, it was funny that Kenny was like, yeah, Kyle's kind of a lush.
Yes, thought that was funny too.
But Kyle seemed very level-headed. Mm-hmm. I wonder if he just keeps it real straight during the week and then lets loose.
Maybe.
On the weekends or in the summertime. I don't know.
Or maybe it's an intentional choice. And he's like, I got to be a grown-up in this show.
Totally. Finally, before we totally wrap it up, I just want to say that I'm fully in on this show.
Me too.
It is more than I expected.
I agree.
I thought it was a really good episode.
I'm in too.
And give me more baby Gemma.
That's episode 1 of In the City. Welcome to New York. We will be back next week. If you love this podcast, we do love 5-star reviews. They mean the world to us. Please leave one in the Apple Podcast app. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. We're Last to the Party Pod. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.